What's happening, folks? It has been a while. It's also been a crazy time. Obviously, you got Tyre Nicole's situation with the Memphis cops. Then we got what was it that state where the female cop was sleeping like five different dudes on duty and off duty and having crazy parties. But aside from that, so just a lot of crazy stuff happening in this world right now. So let's start with the newest one. So apparently, there's a guy by the name of Benjamin Foster, 36 years old, who is now on the run for torturing his ex-girlfriend. So apparently, the police in Oregon is having a little around-the-clock search for this guy because his last girlfriend was found unconscious, bound, and near death in Grants Pass, Oregon, on Tuesday. This past year just happened. So the issue is with this guy, while people need to be aware, is if you use dating apps, he is actually currently trying to find a new woman to either help him escape or basically just let him help just hide out with them in the meantime. He is actively using dating apps to do this. So if you see this guy on your dating app, make sure you kind of run the other way. I don't know if you cut his hair or not. The last one is his little mugshot with his long hair. So we'll see. But this guy, he's actually not his first time doing something like this. He was what state was it? Nevada. He was in. Yeah. So he basically had a similar case like this in Nevada. He basically did the same thing. Held a woman, seemingly his girlfriend, captive and beat her up and tied her. She was able to get away as they went to a store and she fled away from him and was able, to call the cops. And the guy got arrested for him, and he took a deal where he got 2.5 years, and he was back out. So it's like he did basically the same thing, only worse. You feel me? So it kind of just kind of hurts, when because me being a police officer, obviously I know Rob and I were going through that issue with, like I said, Nicole's. It seems like we have our issues. Let's just keep it real. As a profession, we have our issues, but that's any profession. You always have the bad apples. You always have the bad incidents that happen. Me, I try to do the best I can with what I got. You know what I'm saying? I try to be a proactive officer. I try to give everybody respect, even when I get called names all day long. Me being a black cop, I do get called cracker a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's not about how you look, it's really who you're rolling with. You know what I'm saying? So if I hung around a bunch of Crips, I'll probably call the Crip, even though I'm not a Crip. You know what I'm saying? But it's just by association. I'm a cop, so I'm just like a cracker if you don't like the police. You know what I'm saying? But just circumventing back to point I was trying to make, it's like sometimes when we kind of do like our job, we get the charges on somebody, we catch the bad guys, like they get right back out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the tough part, because then a lot of people, sometimes prison or jail is where they learn and actually turn away from doing crime. But some people, like Mr. Foster here, he didn't learn, and he's back out, and he got out taking the deal for a charge that seemed pretty hefty. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he basically gets back out, and he does another crime even worse this time. Like, at least the chick that that got away, she literally fled. She fled from the guy when they went to the store. He made a idiotic mistake for a criminal that's trying to hold this chick like basically hostage. To the store with her. But yeah, she was like physically. She had some injuries. They said she had like bruising on her wrist and whatnot from being I can't think of the term right now. But yeah, she had like bruising, and she did abuse her during the time period too. But physically she was fine. But he gets out from that, that case, because he took a deal and gets out, and next chick he's with, she's almost dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's crazy, some people get out. No, I'm not trying to attack the justice system, but I'm just saying, like, like even me, when I arrest certain people for crimes. Like DV is a big one that I've learned on this job. Domestic violence is a big one that you'll learn. Is very common. Like, you get a lot of people saying, "Oh, real men don't hit women." Well, I'm like, I'm not saying these dudes I arrest are real men, but I'm just saying, like, it's very common. Like, the same people that's probably saying that probably has friends that are abusing their women right now, because it's a very common crime for dudes to hit on women. And also, you'll be very surprised. A lot of women hit men too. It's just men don't report it. I've arrested a couple women. I mean, like I said, it's not. And it's probably, like I said, a lot of men don't report it, but I arrest a couple of women for domestic violence, you know what I'm saying? And usually it's crazy because the guys are like, they'll have their phone out and be recording the woman as she is. And it's like, oh, well, you know, you didn't make it hard for me. But, you know, so you'll be surprised, you know. It's just like, I think men, we have pride, so we don't call, you know, for domestic violence. But just saying, like, you know, a lot of times, like, you know, you arrest people for these things, and it's just a common occurrence. I got a guy that has a warrant out right now for domestic violence. Basically, it was one of those things we got called in after the fact, but everything she gave, the whole account she gave us from like the scene, him fleeing through a back window in the apartment, like everything played, like you can just see like everything she's telling us, you can see based on like when inside her apartment, you can just see everything, the story just played out based on the scene that you saw. So and just injury wise too, it's all played out. So you know what I'm saying. But yeah, he has a warrant out, and we actually got a call like maybe like a month ago, and the description they gave us was in the same area that they live at, and same description of people. And then they literally once the nail in the coffin was they gave the car that the couple drives, and I was like, oh, it's them again, and he's still beating her up. It's like these dudes get out and they do the same thing, and it's like, you know, like I said, it's not a shot at the criminal at the justice system, but it's like, you know, sometimes some people need to like just the seriousness of crimes. But if a lady's like being just held against her will, like I don't know, man. But you see, once again, you see Mr. Foster, make sure you stay away from him. Also, I'll just say if you're in the Oregon area, just stay off of dating apps right now, because this guy he's looking for you. You feel me? So not a bad looking dude, obviously. So he can probably try to lure you. Obviously he got some games. He keeps getting women, but you know, don't fall for this guy's game. You know what I'm saying? So